So, guys, today I want to talk about this, not specifically this article, but one that this led me to, and it is about Tim Ferris. You probably know you clicked on a video because of that. I'm assuming you follow Tim Ferris, or you at least know something about him. Whether that's his books, the 4 Hour Work Week, 4 Hour Body, Tools of Titans, etc., or from his podcasts, or from him being an investor, there are a lot of points of contact to come in contact with Tim Ferriss. Now, the most popular ones, I would say, are either the books or the podcast. And just for context, in a lot of these books, in a lot of the podcast episodes, it's all about improving. It's all about optimizing your productivity or in essence, your results in whatever area you're trying to improve. So it's not very focused around how you feel, your emotions, a bigger purpose to whatever you're doing. I'm not saying he doesn't have about those things, but it's more about specific goals and how to optimize your way to them. Even taking, for example, Tools of Titans is just a bunch of high achievers giving their advice, like the highest of achievers in our planet. And I was just browsing Medium the other day. It's this website you see on your screen right now. It's like a YouTube, but for articles, you'd say. And this one clearly piqued my interest because that Tim Ferriss name, as you can see. And it is Tim Ferriss's recent change of heart shows how self-improvement can fail you. Then, like, without self-acceptance, self-improvement is only noise. This was written by Michael. I can't say the second name. I don't know about him, but yeah, it was very interesting because, he mentions here a GQ interview right here, and this led me to, that's what I want to talk about today, is that GQ interview. I just want to give a little call out here before we get on, which is, it says here, but in a recent interview with Clay Skipper from GQ, Ferris acknowledges that he's been responsible for much of what he calls the noise in the self-improvement or self-optimization space. Now, maybe I'm misreading, but it kind of seems that, Ferris is the one that said this when it was the other one. Doesn't really matter. Let's get on to the actual interview. Here we have the boy Tim. And these colors are because he talks a lot about how to deal with emotional trauma, with psychedelics, but that's not really what I want to touch on today. If you want to read the interview, by the way, it is going to be on the description, probably maybe appear on this little icon on the right. Maybe I'm going to forget to put that up there, but on the description is going to be 100%. Now, getting on with this interview, I want to start here. So here it is. This is because I started reading a bit and I was immediately surprised by this. This is what Tim Ferriss says, which is, I am not focused on maximizing productivity because that begs the question, to what aim? And we're going to cover more, but to me, this was like, how can this man be saying this? Like, you are, Tim, the productivity guy. You are the person that optimizes everything, that kind of finds these kind of nooks and crannies of everything and makes them as optimized as possible. So hearing or reading this, I had to keep reading. And it was very interesting because honestly, for me, the part about, dealing with trauma through psychedelics, that is not so much, or it didn't pique my interest too much. It's not something I'm very interested about currently. But yeah, it kind of gives some context here. But what I really want to touch on next is this. All right, I had to find it, but here it is. This is the quote that I kind of highlighted for myself, which is, because it doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter how effective or efficient you are, it doesn't matter what types of fancy toys you collect. It doesn't matter how hot your significant other is, if your inner world, your internal monologue or dialogue is that of anger or despair or frustration or sadness the majority of the time. And he continues, and I'm going to keep highlighting, but it was so interesting to me because what I feel like is happening, and I kind of lost that once again, but I'll find it, whatever. But what I feel like is happening or happened to Tim, I haven't been catching up too much with him, with the podcast, but what it seems to me, after, especially after reading everything, is that he got to a point where he has, all the money he could probably want, all the quote unquote, like he said, all the toys he wants, is in a good physical shape. And in a way, it's like, I guess you reach that point where you just ask yourself, what else can I get? If all the things I've gotten haven't fulfilled me, or I still feel like there's something missing. In a way, what I feel like happened here was that he, instead of going more out, he started going more in. And I'm sure this started much before, what he's much more focused now on. But it's still very interesting to hear him say about this. And I can't remember if it was this GQ interview or this Medium one. Someone was saying that, like, you look at all these people, Tim Ferris, maybe other people you idolize, whether those are business people, athletes, high achievers, you could call, and you never really think that all of them are human as well. They have bad moments, they feel sad, they feel, like they're failures. They feel all these things we feel, even though they have all the things we hope to have and that we think is going to fix that, those bad feelings. And so in a way, it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? So in a way, it's very, I would say, relieving, because, everyone feels bad. Everyone has bad days. Everyone feels like giving up at times. And when you look at these, figures, you very rarely see the bad moments. And sometimes you see the public failures, like you see a sports person, an athlete, not a sports person. You see an athlete fail, or you see them, lose a game, but you don't really see the internal conflict. You don't really see, the turmoil that's going on inside. And so first thing, that's very, relieving to see as well. And I want to continue here to the next thing. I just have to find it. All right, I found it. It's kind of the continuation of it. And Tim Ferris says, certainly in the beginning, you might think that money is the answer. After that, you might think that more time is the answer. After that, you might think, I simply need to care more for the physical vehicle, or I want to learn more. Then it's really just about acquiring skills, maybe they're productive skills, or maybe just for fun. And then at some point, you have to sit in a room and be able to live with yourself. And this for me is probably the most impactful quote of the whole article, because despite of how much we achieve, despite of, how good your body looks, how much money you have in your bank account, how many things you've been able to attain for yourself, a lot of those don't fix, or pretty much none of those fix the internal issues that we've been struggling with. And none of those, if, taking very literally the example here, none of those will help you when you sit in a room alone, or when you're trying to sleep at night. None of those really help with the lacking of something that's going on inside you. And to me, it's quite incredible, especially coming from Tim Ferris, and seeing that the guy who optimized everything. And before I continue, this is not me saying that, you shouldn't optimize things, or you shouldn't be better at things. But it's also very good to hear from the person who's one of the best, if not the best in the world, doing so, tell you that you need the other side as well. You need to go inside. You need to find that peace within. Otherwise, none of the other things will matter. And just for context as well, yesterday I was reading the book Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. Great book. Definitely recommend. And I was reading, I think now the third time, probably. And there was this story there I'd forgotten of a guy, John Stuart Mill, I believe, super intelligent guy, very bright. And one time when he was around in his 20s, he asked himself, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he asked himself, what if I attained everything I've ever wanted? Every physical achievement, every intellectual achievement. What if every political idea I have that I believe would make the world better would be in place? Essentially, if everything I want, if reality was exactly as I want it, would I feel complete? Would I feel better inside than I feel right now? And to him and to pretty much everyone would be probably not. Probably I'm hiding behind these things that I want to attain something else, and something else that I can only achieve by going within. Now, not to get too distracted as well, I want to continue here with the article. Tim Ferriss then also suggests the book by Tara Brach. I don't know how to say that, but which is Radical Acceptance. I really love the book. I kind of skipped a bit over that because I read it already. And I found this very interesting. This quote I want to read as well, which is, I would find it difficult to call myself successful if I'm experiencing anxiety, fear, regret when I'm in bed in the morning or before I go to bed. So that's simple. And it's not so much a metric because not everything that is meaningful can be measured easily. And you can force fit it, sure. You could give yourself a 1 to 10 scale and, blah, blah, blah. You could do all of that. But this is an exercise in really truthfully feeling whatever is present. And deep down, you know if it is good or bad. You know if it's hurtful or helpful. You know if it's healthy or unhealthy. And not a lot of analysis is required. There are plenty of things to measure. There are plenty of things to track. There are lots of things in my life that I do track with my businesses and elsewhere. But this is one place where simplicity pays off. And to me, I want to finish the video by first of all, suggesting, really emphasizing, go read the article. I really enjoy it. If you don't know who Tim Ferriss is and you kind of just randomly clicked on the video, plenty of good books to read, a lot of podcast episodes, I don't know, like 1,000 and something, all with high performance people, all with people that are very good in their fields. And he has a talent for not only breaking that down within himself, like how to maximize productivity, but finding out in others as well. And if that is a path that I wouldn't take anything away from it, a path that I'm on as well of optimizing productivity, whether that's in business, in the gym, and whatever that is, this article to me above all shines a light in for us to understand as well that most likely all those things we're trying to achieve a lot of times come from that place of, I don't have this, I need this to feel good, when in reality, even if we attain them, or when we attain them, internally, nothing has changed. And to use this, not as kind of a demotivating factor of, oh my gosh, then I'm just not going to do anything. If I'll feel exactly the same, I'll just live under a bridge and, not do anything ever again. It's not that what I'm trying to say. It's more for be ambitious, have all those pursuits, but then take some time as well to look inside and to understand that if that inside is not good, then none of the outside things will solve that. If you've made it to this point of the video, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, for supporting. Go ahead and leave a like and a subscribe if you did, but that's not why I'm, here taking this space at the end. I want to let you know if you're into, improving yourself, into optimizing your life in certain areas, whether that's business, fitness, relationships, whatever it is, we have something coming out that probably is going to interest you. It's called Paths of Progress. And to boil it down pretty simply, this will be, to my knowledge, the first platform to teach you Stoic advice, Stoicism, in a way that is practical, that is simple to understand, and easy to apply. Now, this will come out on the 10th of October, but you can go ahead and click the link below, probably the first link, and go check it out. Sign up for the newsletter so you can learn about everything as it's coming out and probably receive and also you're going to receive closer to the deadline a free week to experience the program, to see how everything is. And then if you want or not, you can leave. But this will be exclusive to those who sign up for the newsletter. So very excited to see you there. See ya.